Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Friday, March 10th, 2023. Let's find out what's going on the Forex calendar today. As you can see, this is the first Friday of the new month. So we got, of course, some data from the overnight sessions. Nevertheless, the key event of today is, of course, non-farm payrolls data from the US and unemployment rate from the US as well. But let's start with the Bank of Japan Monetary Policy Statement and press conference took place overnight in Japan. So this is another reason to take a look at the US dollar to the Japanese yen later on. During the London session, we got the most important data scheduled for release from the UK in form of the GDP, monthly GDP change, quarter to quarter, and manufacturing production. As I said before, at 2:30, non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate is scheduled to release together with the employment change data from Canada. Non-farm payrolls are expected to drop from 500,017 to 200,005. Basically, this is how it looks like on the non-farm payrolls. Unemployment rate is expected to stay on the same level of 3.4%. At 4 o'clock, ECB President Christine Lagarde will give a speech as well. So it looks like we have a very, very busy day today. So let's just basically jump to the chart. We are going to start with euro dollar for the beginning, and then of course US dollar to Japanese yen. Euro dollar 4-hour chart has been seen bouncing from the lows made at the level of 1.0525. Nevertheless, we hit only the 50 periods moving average, and since then the market is apparently reversing. In a very, very clear manner. Just that touch at the level of, where is the high? I can't see it. There you go. High was at 1.0607. So a pretty interested situation here. Well, it should be expected that if the market is trending down, and a test of the moving averages, 50 and 100 moving averages, might result in some kind of the rejection. We got at the bottom invented bullish hammer pattern, which is very interesting. So that was nice signal here, and of course the engulfing pattern later on. So the situation on the US dollar is that the market participants are positioning themselves ahead of the non-farm payrolls data release. The momentum is at the level of 48.66, hovering around the level of 50, which is of course the neutral level. So the market participants await the data, and they are wondering whether the better than expected data will help them to jump basically higher above 50 and 100 periods moving average. Where we have the target, well, the first target is of course the recent local high 1.0695. so right now this is roughly around 90 pips away from the highs of the last 4-hour candle. So it looks like the US dollar is performing quite well, but now there is a little bit pause because the market traders, investors, speculators await for the NFP payrolls data. Screenshot, and let's go to the other market. The other market is of course the US dollar to the Japanese yen. This market will be affected today by the NFP payrolls data release. So what do we have here in the short term? 4-hour chart is showing us a new high, that's for sure. This is a new swing high located at 137.92. Then we have wave A of the downside movement, wave B correction, wave C. So we got ABC pattern completed as the corrective one. Nevertheless, there is no new low made during this correction because we got the lows at 135.27, and these lows were not even tested. So what's the situation here? We got very nice bounce above the this is 50 periods moving average, of course. Nevertheless, as you can see, the last 4 hours resulted in fading this movement to the upside, and we are getting closer and closer, not to the local high but to the local low at 135.83. so we can hit this level, and if the market breaks below 135.83, of course there's 100 periods moving average 135.64, and then the key technical support located at 135.30. so please keep an eye on this market behavior. This part will be greatly affected by the release of the NFP as well, so the volatility might increase on the US dollar to Japanese yen today. Let's take a look at the British pound as well. What do we have here? Very interesting price development on the British pound to Japanese yen. So what do we have here? We got the horizontal line, which is the technical resistance. Technical resistance basically was located around 1.1914. We broke above this technical resistance, and we broke above the level of 50 on the RSI. So that's a nice movement to the upside. Let's just zoom in to see what is going on in more details. So what do we have here? We have the lows, of course, the bounces from the low of 1.18, I guess, yes, 1802. There you go. We got the nice bounce. We broke above the technical resistance. We can even put another line here for the technical resistance. Nevertheless, it doesn't change much because we got some consolidation around this two levels, up and down, and then finally breakout where? Well, as you can see, again we have a breakout towards the 50 periods moving average, and it looks like the momentum is supporting right now this breakout. Nevertheless, big shadow from the upper side of this candle is being made right now. The candle is not ready yet. Nevertheless, it doesn't look good for the bulls, because how it looks like this bounce to the upside is being faded. Nevertheless, plenty of things can happen before the data release from the UK will affect the British pound to American dollar pair. 100 periods moving average is 1.1996, and the local swing high is 1.2064. so right now this movement to the upside is purely technical. This is a bounce from the extremely oversold market conditions on the 4-hour chart, so nothing new here. Very nice bounce. Market is trying to bounce, nevertheless bounce above the 50 periods moving average. Nevertheless, so far no avail. The up move is being faded, and we see how this market will be performing during the rest part of the day. Gold, what is gold doing? Well, we have a very nice bounce in gold. The local low, or maybe even swing low, was made at 1,804, and right now we are bouncing from the extremely oversold market condition. Look at this. We went from the extremely overbought market conditions on the 4-hour chart, even if we were above the 150 moving averages. Then we went down towards the extremely oversold market conditions, and now we are just consolidating around the moving averages, both of them 50 and 100. So very interesting situation here. Of course, this looks like the middle of the range anyway, but this market will be deeply affected by the news release, NFP news release. Okay, so please stay focused, stay concentrated, keep your eye on the current situation on the gold market, because it looks like the market is unsure whether it wants to go up and down, and it's consolidating around the moving averages. So breakout above 1,857 is needed for the up move to continue higher, or the breakout below the swing low from the 28th of the February at $1,804 is needed for another movement to the downside. And the last but not least, let's take a look, of course, at Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin extends the down move, as you can see, after this very important technical support has been violated. What I'm talking about is, of course, the level of around roughly $21,500. Very strong movement to the downside. As you can see, there is almost nothing here until maybe some technical support located around the level of, let's say, 18,360 is possibly the next target for the market participants. We are already below 20,000. The local low was made, let me just take a look here. The local low so far, of course, was made around 19,800, and it looks like this market is getting towards the extremely oversold conditions. Of course, on the 4-hour chart, 11.84. Nevertheless, if we switch to the daily, you can clearly see that this movement to the downside is still there's still some room. Right, we hit the extremely oversold market conditions, but there's still some room for the market to move lower. And on the daily time frame chart, as you can see, the situation looks like that. We are testing 100 periods moving average. We are far away from the 50 periods moving average. There might be some kind of a bounce, but from the technical point of view, look, there is nothing here. There is nothing here. The market moved to the upside like no tomorrow last time. So it looks like this level is the next target for bulls, which is of course 18,360. Not that far away at all. Over $1,500 below the current market price, and then the market will be ready to do some sort of the very aggressive bounce, for example. Right, let's just leave this chart here and on a daily time frame, because it gives us much more perspective on what is the current situation on the Bitcoin market. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.